Hey yo, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hey listen, so I am going to teach you about how you can have massive gains on this simple Forex strategy. All right. Now a lot of people don't even really know that you can actually win a lot of money in Forex by just simply doing this strategy. All right. I personally trade supply and demand, but the strategy that I have and I've been consistently doing for months would definitely get you on the right path. Okay, so pay attention. So I'm going to break down on GBP USD how I caught a 1 to 9 on one of these days, which I believe was a Thursday. And then on Friday, I caught a 101. Now, technically, I usually go for 101s to 1 and 2s. I take my bread and I leave. Okay. You can hold longer if you want, but I tend to see that the market usually goes for at least 101s and 1 and 2s consistently. Okay. That's why this strategy is very effective. Okay. So for you, some of you guys who do not know, I do trade a 5-minute supply and demand setups. Okay. But what I usually start off my day is like look at the 1 hour time frame. Okay. So when you're looking at the 1 hour time frame, you got to figure out what's the trend. Identify the trend. Okay. When you are going against the trend, you are more than likely to lose. Like I said, say it again. When you go against the trend, you are more than likely to lose. So I advise you, for anybody who is trading this strategy, stay with the trend. All right. So we can obviously see that this was a big push up. All right. So consistently, you are seeing push ups in the market. All right. Now, there is nothing to say. This it's not saying that you cannot sell the market when it's bulling up, but you are more than likely to lose in Forex when you are going against the trend. All right. For probably the past 2 to 3 weeks, it's been bullish. All right. So there is no reason why I should even be selling. All right. The only way that I will sell is if I see lows consistently broken. All right. So now that we define the trend on the 1 hour, we break it down to the 5-minute time frame. All right. And that's all. That's how I just do my analysis. I just look at the 1 hour time frame, look for the trend, and then boom. All right. So let me go here. Do this replay right quick. All right. So now that I defined what the trend was, it will really help you understand that when even on a 5-minute time frame, you could probably see the market, kind of consolidating, right? You want to wait for a break of structure. All right. Now, the only way I'm selling this market is if the market will break this low down here. All right. That's the only way I'm going to sell this market. All right. I'm not going to look for anything else unless the market breaks this low, or more than likely this low. Okay. But because the market has made its pullback, has done its pullback, and it's pulling back up, now I am looking for a demand zone. All right. So I trade supply and demand, and simply I trade it like this. All right. If the market is an uptrend, right, it breaks this high, what I am looking for is a retest from the demand zone from where it came from. All right. So this will more than likely be your demand zone. All right. And the market would more than likely come down. All right. And not to knock anybody who does M's and W's, but you might be trading this M right here when in reality it's just coming for a retest. And once it retests, it breaks back up to the upside. I'm entering right here, put my stop loss below here, or maybe below this candle, and then just riding it back up, either to this high or whatever liquidity I might see possible. It's the same thing as if it was supply. Okay, it breaks the low, so we're looking for a break of structure. All right, comes back to this high, and then we're selling right again. All right, simple as possible. You see how simple I keep it, guys? I mean, all right. So the market is pulling back, right? Now, this is a demand zone right here, but because it did not break, because it did not break a certain level of high that I wanted to break, I'm still waiting, right? So the high that I'm wanting it to break is this high right here. I'll show you where I took a little small loss, and then I'll show you where I re-entered, because I believe, like I said, it was on the 1 hour time frame, and I just got out because I really noticed that I really needed a better entry. All right, so break of structure happened, right? So really right here was my demand zone. All right, here's the thing. If the market breaks this high and just comes down here to retest, doesn't come down here, but goes back up and it creates another demand zone, then this will be your new demand zone. All right, and I'll give you an example right here. All right, so the market comes down, right? My mind says maybe I can get in right here. All right, so the market breaks back to the upside, and usually if you want to be conservative, you can wait for this candle to break, and I enter right here and put my stop loss right here. Realistically, my stop loss is usually anywhere 10 to 20 pips or 10 to 15 pips, but it should have been down here, but because it's too big, I don't risk that big. I just put it right here. All right, so market comes back, stop me out, right? And then that's when I actually got out a little bit sooner than that. I cut my losses short, and I'm like, I'm waiting for the perfect opportunity. All right, so because of that, I knew that this market was going to continue to bulling up. I'm waiting for these highs to be broken. All right, the high was broken. Right now, this would be my second demand zone right here. All right, now some of you guys may be asking, is this an order block? Yes, it's an order block, but that's not how I look at it. I just look at it simply as structure was broken to the high, and this is a demand zone right here. Okay, you could call it an order block, whatever you call it, but this is where the market did not want to pass back down to the low, pulled right back up, broke structure, and we're coming back for a retest. That was your retest. I entered right there. I put my stop loss literally right here. Now, if you go back in history, which I'm not going to go all the way back, you can see that there's nothing really stopping GU except for right here from bulling, from stopping to continuously buy. But because the news was consistently bad on the US dollar, I don't trade fundamentally all the time, but when there's a lot of news and the US dollar is really bad, I'm holding this bad boy. Okay, so usually I'll aim for a 1-to-1. All right, which already, look guys, already your 1-to-1 is already hit, your TP is already hit. All right, but because of this, I ended up holding to a 1-to-9. Now I wanted to hold to a 1-to-20, but because I didn't want to be greedy, number one, and because it was becoming very late in the market of the day, my trading zone is usually from 8 a.m. or 7:45 a.m. right before New York opens to 11 a.m. sometimes, or more than likely 10:30 a.m. So I try to stay within volume hours. But if I'm in the trade and I'm holding this bad boy. All right, so liquidity goes up, boom, take profit hit. And like I said, I could have kept holding it, but why keep holding it? Like, there's no reason for me to keep holding this. I get my bread and I get out. Okay, but like I said, you could have just easily, even to these highs right here, a 1-to-3, and you're done for the day. All right, with a stop loss of 8 pips. Sometimes, guys, I'm not even gonna lie, sometimes I even put my stop loss literally right here, 3.2 pips. So that way, if I lose, I'm losing small. And with this strategy being a high win rate strategy, it'll be very hard for you to either blow your account or lose a funding account. And that's the key. It's all about your risk. It's not just about your gains, guys. It's about your risk. So even if I lost a small loss and I won 10 pips or 20 pips, it still makes up for what I've lost, and I'm still profiting. A lot of people don't get that. And if you don't get that, then the signs of greed is going to come into your head. It's going to fill that space and that gap that you need to understand in Forex. It's not about how many pips you can get. I'm telling you, man, there's people that I know right now, personally, that I know right now, who are literally getting in the markets, getting their 10 pips and dip it, and they quit their job. So don't think that you cannot eat off of just 10 pips. All right, so let's go to the next setup. All right, Let's just do this. All right, so let's go ahead and back this up. Now, this is another example of why this strategy is so easy. All right, you guys know that this is an uptrend. Okay, this right here, yes, this could come back to retest these highs and form an M, right? And I have nothing against anybody who trades M's and W's once again, okay? But I did have a student who was asking me, hey, I like to trade this way, but I also want to learn your style. So if you are an M and W trader, but you're still trying to learn the supply and demand, this is really going to help you, all right? Simplicity is key. So notice that there was 2 levels of highs broken. It was this high and this high, right? So realistically, since highs were broken, this will be your most recent demand. All right, you can call them order blocks or whatever you call it, but I call them my demand zones. All right, and I just wait for a retest. And remember, if this does not come back down and it forms another demand higher than what it then this first demand, then you want to take the most recent. All right, and sometimes it may not respect the second demand. Sometimes it'll come down and hit your first one. So just pay attention to that. All right. So it's coming down. A lot of people, guys, look, a lot of people think this is a sell-off. Like I said, it's an uptrend. I'm not selling for no reason. Unless it comes down to break this low right here, I'm not selling for any reason, okay? So let's just go ahead and delete this. All right, boom. So we see it's bulling back up. What does it do? It breaks this high right here, right? Which is actually a supply zone, but it was broken through. And an uptrend. So remember, I'm sticking with the uptrend. I'm looking for demand zones, not supply zones. All right. So this would be my most recent demand zone. All right. Keeps going up. All right. And never came back to retest. So because it pulled back and went back up, broke another high. Now this is my second demand zone. This is what I'm looking for. Retested right there. This is where I got in, right here. I aimed for basically a 1 to 2. Stop loss was literally right here, 10 pips, just about, and boom, take profit hit. So that's how simple this strategy is. You can go from a 1-to-1 with the entry, with the supply and demand, 5-minute time frame, and you can win massively. Just like you've seen down here, this big old move off of a demand zone, a 1 to 9. So guys, like I said, this supply and demand strategy will help you make massive gains. The link of my Discord is in the description. If you definitely need help trading, understanding the markets, if you want to learn about this strategy, I promise you this strategy will help you get where you want to be. But you really got to put in the work, okay? You really got to put in the work. You can't sit around, let everybody do it for you. And that's the issue. Everybody wants everybody to do it for them. You got to learn the strategy. You got to back test the strategy, and then you got to put it into practice, all right? So my name is Jonah, Trader Globe FX. I hope you guys love this video. Subscribe, like it, share it, whatever. Have a great weekend.